Assalamu alaikum. Dear student, I am your course instructor Ehtiram Bibi, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, CUST. We have started the first chapter of Basic Organic Chemistry 1, Chem 1221. Today lecture is about aromatic hydrocarbons. The contents of today's lecture include introduction to aromatic hydrocarbon, characteristic properties of aromatic hydrocarbon, and how we can distinguish aromatic hydrocarbon from anti-aromatic hydrocarbon and non-aromatic hydrocarbon. First of all, to let you know that why we want to study the chemistry of aromatic hydrocarbon, because aromatic hydrocarbons are important organic molecule, and one can find it in various types of medicine. For example, here you can see that this is the aspirin tablet, and structure is mentioned over here that it consists of an aromatic hydrocarbon. Similarly, here is another medicine, ibuprofen, and this also consists of an aromatic hydrocarbon. Beside medicine, the aromatic hydrocarbon, specifically the benzoic acid, is used as a preservative for various types of food such as ketchup, jams, and other foods. Beside these, aromatic hydrocarbons are used for the synthesis of various types of dyes as mentioned over here and for various types of paints. And beside all these applications, the most important application of aromatic hydrocarbon is that it is used in the synthesis or preparation of toothpaste, which we are using on daily basis. So aromatic hydrocarbon have various application in our daily life. So it's important to know about the chemistry of aromatic hydrocarbon. Learning outcome: at the end of this lecture, every student will be able to differentiate between aromatic, non-aromatic, and anti-aromatic hydrocarbons. Now, what are aromatic hydrocarbons? The word aromatic was derived from the Greek word aroma, which means a sweet or pleasant odor. The earliest known example of aromatic compound are benzene and toluene. This is the structure of benzene and this is the structure of toluene. And these two are the earliest known aromatic hydrocarbons, and both of these have a sweet, pleasant odor. So the class of compound which consists of benzene or toluene or its derivative and having good odor, sweet odor, pleasant odor are initially considered as aromatic hydrocarbons. For example, we can see over here, this is the structure of vanillin. It's a derivative of benzene and it have a sweet odor. Similarly, this is the structure of cinnamaldehyde. It also a derivative of benzene and it have a good odor. Therefore, it is considered as aromatic hydrocarbon. Here is a third example, eugenol, and this eugenol is extracted from the clove essential oil, and this have also a benzene derivative and it have a good odor. So initially aromatic hydrocarbons are considered as those hydrocarbons which consist of a benzene ring or benzene derivative and have good odor. But with the passage of time and with the discovery of new aromatic hydrocarbon, it was observed that not all aromatic compounds have good smell. For example, anthracene and thiophenol, these are the two compounds which have foul smelling. The thiophenol have foul smelling and anthracene have bad smell. So the initial definition that aromatic hydrocarbons are the derivative of benzene and having good smell are not applicable on these two molecules. And the second point is that there were certain other aromatic hydrocarbon discovered and it was observed that it was not derivative of benzene, for example, azolene and cyclopentadienyl aniline. These are not derivative of benzene, but still they are aromatic. So the initial definition that aromatic hydrocarbons were those hydrocarbons which are derivative of benzene and have a pleasant odor, good or sweet odor are not applicable on these anthracene thiophenol molecule as well as these non-derivative aromatic hydrocarbon. So then Haeckel defined and updated the definition of aromatic hydrocarbon as that all those hydrocarbons will be considered aromatic if the hydrocarbon are cyclic in nature, it's fully conjugated, have planar structure and possess 4n plus 2 pi electron. Then that hydrocarbon will be considered as an aromatic hydrocarbon. So we can define aromatic hydrocarbon as the planar cyclic hydrocarbons which are fully conjugated and possess 4n plus 2 pi electron are known as aromatic hydrocarbon. For example, benzene is cyclic in nature, it is planar, it is fully conjugated and possesses 6 pi electron, 4n plus 2 pi electron, so it is aromatic. Similarly, toluene is aromatic hydrocarbon because it possesses these four properties, that is, it is planar, it is cyclic, it is fully conjugated and possesses 4n plus 2 pi electron. Similarly, the other example is anthracene and azolene. That azolene is not consist of a benzene ring, but it possesses the properties of aromatic hydrocarbon, that it is planar structure, it is cyclic, it is fully conjugated and possesses 4n plus 2 pi electron. So, according to the updated definition, aromatic hydrocarbons are those planar cyclic hydrocarbons which are fully conjugated and possess 4n plus 2 pi electron. So now let's see the characteristic properties of aromatic hydrocarbons. According to Hacker rule, a hydrocarbon is aromatic if the compound is cyclic, fully conjugated, have planar structure and possess 4n plus 2 pi electron. So first condition for the aromatic hydrocarbon, which is necessary, that the compound or hydrocarbon must be cyclic. If the compound or hydrocarbon is acyclic open chain hydrocarbon, then it will not be considered as an aromatic hydrocarbon. Similarly, the second property is that the hydrocarbon must be fully conjugated. It means that each atom in the cycle or the ring must be sp2 hybridized for fully conjugation. The third property is that the molecule must be planar. Planarity is compulsory for the aromatic hydrocarbon, because if the molecule is planar, then the pi electron easily delocalized among the orbital. But if the molecule is not planar, then the conjugation will not happen, and therefore we will not be considered it as an aromatic hydrocarbon. The fourth property, that it must be possess 4n plus 2 pi electron, where n is any integral number starting from 0. If we put the value of n is equal to 0, then we will obtain the first aromatic hydrocarbon which possesses 2 pi electron. The second aromatic hydrocarbon will consist of 6 pi electron, and so on. Here I mentioned that how we will put the value of n and we obtain the pi electron. For example, if we put the value of n is equal to 0, then 4 zeros are 0 plus 2. So the first aromatic hydrocarbon will consist of 2 pi electron, and the second aromatic hydrocarbon will consist of 6 pi electron, and so on. So let's apply these properties on certain molecules to mention that whether the given aromatic hydrocarbon is aromatic or non-aromatic. Now we are considering the simplest cyclopropene molecule, and this is the simplest molecule, and it consists of first we will apply the first property, see that it is cyclic or not. So it is a cyclic, so it possesses the first property of aromatic hydrocarbon. Second property, that the molecule or hydrocarbon must be fully conjugated. We can see that this is not in conjugation. This consists of only 2 pi electron, but these 2 pi electron are not in conjugation with this carbon atom. And a fully conjugation means that each carbon in the ring must be sp2 hybridized, and we can see that this carbon is sp2 hybridized and this carbon is sp2 hybridized. While the third carbon is not sp2 hybridized, it means that it is not fully conjugated, because this carbon is sp3 hybridized. So it is not in conjugation with these pi electron. So it do not obey the second property of aromatic hydrocarbon. So we consider this as a non-aromatic hydrocarbon. If any hydrocarbon do not obey any of the four property among these four properties, then that hydrocarbon will not be considered as aromatic hydrocarbon. Now let's see the molecule hydrocarbon cyclopropenyl cation molecule. Now we can see over here that it obeys the first property, that it is cyclic in nature. It is fully conjugated because each carbon is sp2 hybridized. We can see this carbon is sp2 hybridized, this carbon as well as this carbon is sp2 hybridized, because it have an empty p orbital, and it have a planar structure. It is mentioned over here that all the atoms of the ring lying in the same plane. So it have a planar structure, and it consists of 2 pi electron. We can see over here that it consists of 2 pi electron, and according to Huckel rule, the first aromatic compound consists of 2 pi electrons. So it's obey the Huckel rule as well. So it's mean that it obey the fourth property of aromatic hydrocarbon. So this molecule is an aromatic hydrocarbon. Let's apply these properties on certain other molecules. The next example is the cyclopropenyl anion molecule. And we can see that it is cyclic. Yes, it is a cyclic molecule. It's fully conjugated. Yes, we have sp2 hybridized carbon, sp2 hybridized carbon, and we consider this as well sp2 hybridized carbon because this negative charge is delocalized on the 3 carbon atom. It have a planar structure and it possesses 4 n pi electron. If n is considered is equal to 1, so it consists of 4 pi electron. So this is non-aromatic because it do not obey the Huckel rule for aromatic hydrocarbon, which mentioned that the first aromatic hydrocarbon will consist of 2 pi electron and the second aromatic hydrocarbon will consist of 6 pi electron. Between 2 and 6 pi electron, there is a 4 pi electron which are not considered to be an aromatic hydrocarbon. So it do not obey the Huckel rule, so it is not an aromatic hydrocarbon. Next example is the cyclopentadiene. We can see that it is a cyclic molecule. Yes, the second property that it must be fully conjugated, but we can see that these 4 carbon atom is sp2 hybridized, but the 5th carbon is sp3 hybridized. So it's mean that it is not fully conjugated and it is considered as non-aromatic hydrocarbon. Now apply these properties of aromatic hydrocarbon on benzene molecule. We can see that that the molecule is cyclic, the hydrocarbon is cyclic. Yes, it obeys the first property of aromatic hydrocarbon. The second property that it must be fully conjugated. Fully conjugated means that each atom in the ring must be sp2 hybridized. We can see that each atom in the benzene ring is sp2 hybridized. So it possesses the second property of aromatic hydrocarbon. It have a planar structure. It is mentioned over here that all the atom lies in the same plane, so it have a planar structure. And it obey Huckel rule because it consists of 6 pi electron, 2 pi electron, 4 pi electron, and 6 pi electron. So according to Huckel rule, it is an aromatic hydrocarbon. It possesses the 4 properties of aromatic hydrocarbon, so it is an aromatic compound. Now here is the example of azolene. It is also cyclic, possesses the first property of aromatic hydrocarbon. It's fully conjugated because each atom in the ring is sp2 hybridized. It have a planar structure and it possesses 10 pi electron, 6 pi electron in this ring and 4 pi electron in this ring. So 10 pi electron, and according to Huckel rule, if a hydrocarbon possessing 10 pi electron, that will be considered as aromatic hydrocarbon. So azolene is an aromatic hydrocarbon. Now, how we will distinguish aromatic hydrocarbons from anti-aromatic hydrocarbons? So by knowing the characteristic properties of anti-aromatic hydrocarbon, we will differentiate aromatic hydrocarbon from anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. So according to Huckel rule, a hydrocarbon is anti-aromatic if the compound is cyclic, it's fully conjugated, mean each atom must be sp2 hybridized, have planar structure, planarity is compulsory for the delocalization of pi electron, and possess 4 n pi electron. So it's mean that the 3 properties of anti-aromatic hydrocarbon, the first 3 properties are similar to the aromatic hydrocarbon, but it only different on its 4th property that it consists of 4 n pi electron, where n starting from 1. In the aromatic hydrocarbon, the n started from 0, where in anti-aromatic hydrocarbon, the n starting from 1 because 0 means nothing. So the anti-aromatic hydrocarbons are only different in its 4 property that it must consist 4 n pi electron, and it's mean that if an hydrocarbon consists of 4 pi electron, 8 pi electron, or 12 pi electron, and so on, will be considered as anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. Now let's see to applying these properties on this cyclopropyl anion molecule and see that whether it is an anti-aromatic hydrocarbon or not. So the first property that it must be cyclic. Yes, it is cyclic. It must be fully conjugated. Yes, it's fully conjugated. Each carbon atom is sp2 hybridized because this carbon negative charge is delocalized on the 3 carbon atom. So it have also a planar structure. Yes, and according to Huckel rule, it consists of 4 pi electrons. So according to Huckel rule, the hydrocarbon which consists of 4 pi electron will be considered as anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. So this propyl anion is considered as an anti-aromatic hydrocarbon, but there is an ambiguity about these molecules. So some scientists says that this is a non-aromatic hydrocarbon because it have a lone pair of electron, and this carbon is considered to be an sp3 hybridized instead of sp2 hybridized. But according to Huckel rule, it is consists of 4 pi electron. It is considered as an anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. And it is also mentioned in Muhammad Yunus BSc book that it is an anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. Now let's apply these properties on cyclobutadiene molecule and see that whether it is an anti-aromatic or aromatic hydrocarbon. So it is a cyclic molecule. Yes, it possesses the first property of anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. It is fully conjugated because each carbon is sp2 hybridized. It have a planar structure, and according to Huckel rule, it consists of 4 pi electron, 2 pi electron, and 4 pi electron. And according to Huckel rule, the hydrocarbon which consists of 4 pi electron will be considered as anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. So this is the first clear anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. Now apply these properties on certain other molecule. This is the pentylene molecule, and we can see that it is cyclic in nature, possesses the first property of anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. It is fully conjugated, so possesses the second property of anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. It have a planar structure, and it possesses 4 pi electron here and 4 pi electron here, 8 pi electron. And according to Huckel rule, if a hydrocarbon consists of 8 pi electron, that will be considered as an anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. So it possesses the property of anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. So pentylene molecule is an anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. Here is example of heptylene molecule. It is cyclic in nature. It is fully conjugated. Each atom is sp2 hybridized, and it have a planar structure, and it possesses 6 pi electron in this ring and 6 pi electron in this ring, 12 pi electron. And according to Huckel rule, if the molecule possesses the first three property in possessing 12 pi electron, then it is considered as anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. This molecule is an exceptional case. This is the cyclotetra octane molecule. So in this molecule, if it is planar structure, then this molecule is considered as anti-aromatic because it is cyclic, fully conjugated, planar structure, and possesses 8 pi electron. And according to Huckel rule, if a molecule hydrocarbon consists of 8 pi electron, that will be considered as anti-aromatic hydrocarbon, but it is necessary to have a planar structure. But it also exists in this conformer form. In this case, it is cyclic in nature, fully conjugated, and possesses 8 pi electron, but it is not planar as some carbons are above the plane and some are below the plane. So it's mean that it is not a planar molecule, so it not possess the third property of anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. So in this conformer form, it is considered as non-aromatic hydrocarbon because its structure is not planar. So now how we will distinguish anti-aromatic hydrocarbon from non-aromatic hydrocarbons. So the non-aromatic hydrocarbon is considered to be that hydrocarbon which do not possess any of the above mentioned properties of aromatic and anti-aromatic compound, which I mentioned that the properties of aromatic and anti-aromatic compounds are, the three properties are similar, but only one property is different, that the aromatic and anti-aromatic hydrocarbon must be cyclic, fully conjugated, and have planar structure. But the aromatic hydrocarbon have possessing 4n plus 2 pi electron, while anti-aromatic possessing 4n pi electron. So if any hydrocarbon do not obey any of the property of aromatic or anti-aromatic hydrocarbon, then that hydrocarbon will be considered a non-aromatic hydrocarbon. For example, you can see over here the tetrahydrofuran molecule. It is cyclic in nature. And the second properties for aromatic and anti-aromatic hydrocarbon is that it must be fully conjugated, but here we can't see any conjugation. So it is considered as non-aromatic hydrocarbon because it do not possess the property of aromatic and anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. So if any hydrocarbon do not obey or possess the properties of aromatic or anti-aromatic hydrocarbon, that hydrocarbon will be considered as non-aromatic hydrocarbon. Similarly, we can see over here the cyclopentadiene molecule, and we can see that it is cyclic in nature. Yes, it possesses the first property of aromatic and anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. The second property that it must be fully conjugated. Each carbon must be sp2 hybridized. But in this case, we can see that the fourth carbon is sp2 hybridized, but the third carbon is sp3 hybridized. So it's mean that it is not an aromatic or anti-aromatic hydrocarbon. So it is a non-aromatic hydrocarbon. Similarly, we can see that this is non-aromatic hydrocarbon because it is acyclic compound. It is open chain hydrocarbon. And for aromatic and anti-aromatic hydrocarbon, it's compulsory to have the hydrocarbon a cyclic compound. So so it is an open chain hydrocarbon. So it is known as non-aromatic hydrocarbon. So hope that you will understand now, you will know better that how we differentiate between aromatic, anti-aromatic, and non-aromatic hydrocarbon. Now, here are some practice questions. Here is the structure of naphthalene, and for each molecule, you have to mention that whether the given molecule is, or hydrocarbon is aromatic, anti-aromatic, or non-aromatic with proper justification. For example, if you consider this naphthalene molecule, then you properly mention that it is aromatic because it is cyclic in nature, it is fully conjugated, each carbon is sp2 hybridized, it has planar structure, and it possesses 6 pi electron here and 4 pi electron here, 10 pi electron system. So it possesses the properties of 4 properties of aromatic hydrocarbon, therefore it is considered as an aromatic hydrocarbon. So for each molecule you have properly mentioned that whether it is the given molecule is aromatic, anti-aromatic, or non-aromatic hydrocarbon. So the summary of today's lecture is that we have defined aromatic hydrocarbons, that those hydrocarbons which are cyclic in nature, fully conjugated, have planar structure, and possess 4n plus 2 pi electron are considered to be aromatic hydrocarbons. And then we have applied the characteristic properties of aromatic, anti-aromatic, and non-aromatic hydrocarbon on certain hydrocarbons or molecules to check whether the given hydrocarbons are aromatic, anti-aromatic, or non-aromatic. Thank you.